What's up, guys? West the King here. Big time point against Chelsea. Big time point against Chelsea. It shows the mentality of this team is different. It shows that we're a step closer to getting to Chelsea's level when it comes to footballing wise. Because to be honest with you, Chelsea was the way better football team. We talk about tactics, talk about organization, structure, passing. They were on point. They would have like just 3 or 4 passes that they would get past our midfield. Um, Chelsea are definitely still a great team that we're just gonna have to hopefully gradually get to that level where we're showing out on the footballing side. But mentality wise, I think we're on the same level, and that showed because we were able to still hold out and get a point, and not end up losing to them 2-1, 2-zip. We came back. We didn't let them just completely take over the game. They were holding possession pretty much the whole game. We came back. We did the job regardless of all the controversy that I'm sure other fans and pundits are going to be throwing out about Romero pulling the hair and whatever. It's a derby. That happens in derbies. Get used to it. It's a part of football. That kind of stuff happens in derbies all the time. But of course, since it's Spurs and it's Spurs who got the advantage from it, people want to cry. Doesn't matter. I don't give a you know what, pretty much. Like nobody really care. We got the point. I don't care. That's a derby for you. So I'm happy about this point. Son, he played horrible. That's the worst I've seen from Son. He just had his back to the defender. He couldn't hold the ball. Every time he would touch the ball would go 10 feet from him. His touch was very poor. He wasn't able to do anything. He acted like because he was man marking him, I just ran out of any ideas. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm very disappointed in Son because Son is my favorite player. But Harry Kane was pretty much the same way too. But Harry Kane is that man. When it came up to when we needed a goal to get some type of positivity to show that we have arrived, that we are aiming higher, that we are getting to a place where we can get into contention, he did. He got the goal. We desperately needed that goal. Let's talk about that midfield. Our midfield, Højbjerg is clear as day to me. And I know people are going to be wondering why I'm giving Højbjerg any flack. To me, I have to because his play wasn't really there. It's almost like he wasn't there in that midfield. And I know that's going to probably, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but, that's just how I feel of what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is he's just not there. He's more of a CDM player, but when we got our backs against the wall like we did through most of that game, and when Højbjerg gets in positions where he can just go forward and run with the ball and go forward, he holds the ball and he just stands and stagnates a little too much for me, and it's appalling sometimes. Because he's not playing CDM. He's playing central mid or box to box. That's a box to box position. You're supposed to be going forward and backwards. He's very content on just staying as a CDM but playing central mid, and that's not going to work for me. That's why I feel like Basuma and Bentancur are probably the better options. I know David is probably going to disagree with me. He loves Højbjerg. I like Højbjerg too. Højbjerg got the goal. It's not kid around. Højbjerg did get the goal, and I'm happy he did that because I would have went ham on him. Because to be honest with you, his play on the field as a central midfielder is just not there. He's not a central midfielder. He's really a CDM. And I understand that's going to probably that's going to heat a lot of people, but that's the truth. He's a CDM. He's a defensive midfielder. That's really all he is. He's a tank. But whenever he has a chance to go forward, and we need him to go forward, we need somebody to get in position to just go forward to make the opposition's back line go backwards instead of just keep on creeping up on us. He just doesn't do it. He stagnates the ball, then we can't start our offensive go. And he did that several times throughout the game, and I'm kind of sick of it. I can't just let it pass on the race side because it's Højbjerg, and we all love him. I got to give him some flack. That come on, it can't just be Bentancur. A lot of people feel like Bentancur is the one who's the CDM. To me, no. That Bentancur is more of a central midfielder. He can go forward and press and push the ball forward, and also, of course, play defense when he needs to play defense. To me, Højbjerg, he just wants to play defense, and whenever he goes forward, he looks like a deer in headlights. Today, of course, he shot a goal, and guess what? He got a goal from it. And I said that the last time I was on the show, that if Højbjerg just takes the long shots, focuses and takes a shot and stop overthinking. Because to me, when he gets to the final third, gets to the offensive side of the pitch, he starts overthinking of what he's doing. When he knows when he's on a defensive side, he automatically knows what he needs to do. I think he needs to get like that on the offensive side too, because we're going to need that. He's not playing CDM. We're not playing a 3-man midfield. We're playing 2-man midfield, and that means two central midfielders. That's not a CDM and a central midfielder. That's two CMs. He's not playing defensive mid. So we need him to be box to box. We need him to be on the offensive side and defensive side. And you see what happens when he thinks about it. The pass went to him straight. He took a step, shot it. It was a goal. That's what we need Højbjerg to do. And I need him to play a lot better than what he was doing throughout most of the game. Because to me, Chelsea was just passing straight through him. It's like he wasn't there. Bentancur, you could see him all the time. You see where he was. You see him pressing. Our pressing was not good at all. The fact that Chelsea was pressing us so much and that we weren't doing it back to them. We only did it at certain spurts, and we wasn't really on it. Like, we were kind of a step slow. We got to understand, we're going against teams like that, the Liverpools, Man Cities, who are just constantly pressing you. We have to press back because we have the ability to do the same thing. And that's a tactic mentality thing that Conte is going to have to work out. But to me, I have to understand I'm going at Højbjerg a lot. But, Royale and our wingbacks, and Cess, they weren't doing it either. And I've said this before. Our whole offense is structured off our wingbacks. If our wingbacks can't attack a man one-on-one, they can't get past their man, we're going to have problems. And that showed. Cess was not ready. Royale couldn't get past his man because he has no dribbling capability in his body, and he's Brazilian. That's crazy. That's just crazy that you get to that level and you don't have no dribbling ability, no dribble move that you practiced on, and you can't beat your man. You're doing pretty much the same little push off to the right that he always does, or pass back. And then you see all the time, Romero never really wants to pass Royale the ball because he just doesn't believe in his dribbling capability. He just doesn't. And it's the truth because you see it every single game. And I know he played great against Southampton, but Southampton is a mid-table team. He should be playing good against Southampton. And we're just a much stronger team than Southampton. This is Chelsea we're playing against. This is a way different level. And that showed Royale and Cess. Royale and Cess played great last game. When they're going against actual competition that's a step above, you see that they can't get past their man. They act like they can't dribble. The crossing is nowhere to be found. Didn't really see Cess put in one cross. Royale, his crosses takes too long. It's obvious. And then immediately when he put in substitutions for Perisic, you see Perisic is nothing but class. Already knocking in crosses in the box. Already being an offensive threat. It's night and day. Cess wasn't ready. I think Conte put out the wrong starting lineup, and probably the wrong formation. I feel like we should have did a different formation because we knew that all Chelsea was going to do was match us, and that's exactly what Tuchel did. He just matched the formation that we were doing and did it a little better than us, and that showed on the footballing side. They were just, they hold almost 80% of the possession. That was crazy, and I think that's just something Conte's going to have to look at when we're going to get Chelsea again, because we're going to have to see them again at home. Luckily, it'll be at home, and hopefully get a win from them and actually pull something magnificent off. But I think we got to start Perisic over Cess, and I think we got to get Spence or Doherty in there. Most likely Spence. I feel like Spence could really be what fans need and what Conte needs at that right wing position. We need our wing backs to be involved offensively. We need our wing backs to really be able to beat a man one-on-one. They can't be, too safe. They can't be safe. That's all I can say. They can't be safe. I know this is a long one, but I wasn't able to get on the show, so I had to put my thoughts in there. Thanks to IrishHotspur TV, hey, got a point. We got Wolves next. We can beat Wolves. Let's not play around with them. Let's beat them. Because we are better than them, point blank. I know they're a decent team, but we are better than them. We should be beating them. And let's get this run going so we can really do some things and really turn some heads in the Premier League and in world football, period. Other than that, I'm off.